On March the 14th, I attended the Condominium's President's Council's presentation on sea level rise, a presentation given by Dr. JudithCurry of Georgia Tech. I'm of the belief that the sun's sunspot activity and the magnetic field surrounding planet Earth, discovered by swarm satellites, is the cause.
This figure shows some of the processes that cause sea level to change. As the ocean heats up, it expands. Okay, so if you warm the oceans, it's going to expand, raise the sea level. Warming can also melt glaciers, but you can also change the amount of ice, so to speak, is increasing. Okay, that's something that's not really appreciated. That actually helps us. So as we add more water to the bathtub, the sea level isn't rising so much because the size of the bathtub's increasing. Okay, next slide. 1993, when we have satellites, we can actually try to figure out what exactly is contributing. Okay, so the heating or the thermal expansion has been pretty steady over this period. Land glaciers has been pretty steady over the period. The contribution from Antarctica has been pretty steady, but lo and behold, what is increasing is the contribution from Greenland. So in the last few decades, we have seen an increase in the melting and the mass loss from Greenland, which is contributing to a short-term acceleration in sea level rise. Here is actually below sea level. It's been weighted down, okay, by the ice sheet, so the actual land part is below sea level. And as a result, it moves, and you get these ice shelves where part of the glacier just extends out away from the continent, if you will. It's not sea ice, it's not floating, it's really attached. Okay, and this is not a terribly stable situation. Next slide. Well, it shows up right here. This is the Greenland ice sheet mass balance. Below the dotted line means it's losing mass. Above the dotted line means it's raising mass. You might have seen these headlines in 2016. Antarctica is ticking time bomb and could unleash 20 feet global sea level rise warning. Okay. And this received an enormous amount of publicity. During this period between about 1920 broadly to about 1950, Greenland was losing mass. And then we see it started losing mass again in about 1995. So what is causing that? We saw that we didn't have much CO2 stuff going on, in the 20s and 30s. Well, it turns out it's the circulation patterns in the Atlantic, the so-called Atlantic Multi-decadal Oscillation. This can bring warm air into the polar regions. And in fact, the IPCC concluded that the temperatures during the 1930s were comparable to current values. So all of this sea level rise over here doesn't really seem, it clearly was not caused by CO2. And in fact, when CO2 really started going up, in the 60s and 70s, we see this flattening. So clearly there are other things going on that cause sea level rise. The two most extreme scenarios are really going way off. I mean, there's no way that we're on track for that. It's really, apart from a recent bubble, it's really tracking the lowest two scenarios, which would give you 8 to 12 inches by 2060.